morning, YouTube. So today, another back day. One of my favorite days to lift. It's really a pull day, but I've always felt like I've got a pretty good back as far as the rest of my body goes. So it's been one of my favorite body parts to hit. That and legs for some reason, because I'm crazy. But just want to. It has been a minute. I want to give some life updates. So I've been traveling for Thanksgiving, had a blast. There wasn't a gym that allowed cameras where I was traveling, so I didn't really get a chance to film any content. But I had fun, and that's what matters, enjoying time with your family with the holidays and everything like that. Same thing's gonna happen coming up for here for Christmas. But got back, planned on filming a video this past weekend, and there was water damage in my house. I rent, so it's not a huge deal for me, but I had to clean up the water, get all the stuff out of the area, and deal with maintenance people in and out all the time. So I had a lot of late nights over the weekend and into the week. So I'm hoping that this video will make up for the fact that it didn't happen last week. I know I've done probably a few back days in the past, but so there's that. And I'm also overcoming, I have an issue with my grip. I've been having it for a while, but I think I've isolated it. To part of the forearm, the top part of the forearm right here. Specifically, it hurts when I supinate. Twist your wrist all the way. So my coach has just suggested to use straps a little bit to help let it heal, give it some time to rest, which is good because I like using straps for back day so I can focus on the back muscles and not have the grip be the limiting factor. But I recommended that. And then fat grips, if you've ever used them, they're like a little sleeve that goes over the barbell or dumbbell that you're using. And I guess one thing that's handy about that is it can evenly distribute the grip, so that way you're not focusing all on one part of the forearm, which I didn't know that. So I'm going to try using that on whatever day that I do shoulders and arms next, which will probably be in like 6 days, something like that. Anyways, I'm going to start doing that. Hopefully it heals up a little bit. Sorry, most of the life updates. So, like I said, I got my pre-workout. We're using Super Thabbage today because I had another late night yesterday when I came to finish up the repairs. And then a company called Neurotex, if you've ever heard of them, did a really awesome thing in my opinion. They gave all veterans, if you applied for the form, a free product, not a free sample, not you cover shipping. I put in my name and my address and they shipped me a free product, which I've never seen a company do. And all they asked that I do a review, so I'm going to try it today. It's amino acids, essential amino acids, and hydration. So I'm going to be drinking it throughout the workout, and I'll let you guys know what I think about it, I guess. Yeah, that's all I can think of though, so I'll see you in there for back day. So I started this workout with some heavy lat pull downs. I did one warm-up set and then 3 heavy sets, trying to stay between 10 to 15 reps. I got close on the last one, but I think I only got like 10. But I'm just going nice and slow and letting my shoulders go all the way up to get that full stretch on the lat. It's the most effective way that I've been able to feel it, and it will really tear you up after the 3 heavy working sets. Just make sure you're going to as close to failure as you can, especially on the last set, because that's when the reps are really going to matter, is when you're towards the end of the set. Next, I moved on to this kind of chest-supported T-bar row thing. I'm supposed to do reverse grip, bent over rows, but my lower back was giving me some issues today, so I thought maybe adding some chest support would help a little bit. With this, make sure that your elbows are going behind your back, because that's going to get the full contraction of the back. You're just going to start feeling it. Make sure that you're lining up in a comfortable position. You can do overhand or underhand for this application. I did underhand just to hit a different group of muscles, but it's your preference. I went a little too heavy on this set right here. Haven't used this machine, so I'm trying to figure out, how much I can actually lift with it. As you can see, I'm struggling a little bit and trying to push through, but just a little too much. So I decided to do a drop set. I think I had 3 plates on there, which was too much, so I dropped it. Went down to 2 plates in a 25. This is totally fine, in my opinion, if you're going to be doing this, because you want to find your limit. You don't want to stay at a certain weight and feel like you're stuck there when you can really progress. So doing drop sets like this, especially when you're trying to go heavier, is not a bad thing. I wouldn't do it every workout, but it's not bad to do every once in a while. With this, again, just make sure that you're going slow and controlling each rep on the way down, especially. That's where a lot of the action is. That's where a lot of the muscle is built. It's a 3-part movement. It's kind of 4, I guess. It's the stretch at the very bottom, the contraction at the very top, the negative on the way down, and the hold at the top too. So it's stretch, contract, hold, release, I guess, lower. But just keep going. I did 3 drops on this, so I dropped it down to 2 plates just to finish it off. That 3 plates kind of wiped me out a little bit, so it was not as strong as I was on the last set. But if you just keep pushing through, you'll see the results. This is an exercise I really enjoy. It's kind of a fixed movement, so you can really focus on getting the stretch. You don't have to focus on stabilizing. But just going nice and slow like this, again, making sure the elbow is going behind your back, and then you're getting that full stretch at the top. Just make sure you're not using your lower back to pull the entire weight stack down, or in this case, the plates down. And just do, as many as you can comfortably do, trying to go to failure, especially on the last set, like I said previously. And trust me, you'll feel it. You don't need a lot of weight on this to really get an effective workout from it. And whatever you do on one side, you should do on the other side. So I typically start with the weaker side, which is my right side. And then I do as many as I can. And then instead of just doing as many as I can on the left side, I try and mirror the same amount. And I do that with every exercise that's bilateral or unilateral, whatever. So that way, whatever side is weakest can hopefully catch up a little bit. So I think I did 12 on the other side. And you'll probably see towards the end that I look like I could probably do 13, 14, maybe even 15. But I did it just to make sure both sides are kind of symmetrical, and I'm still staying within that 10 to 15 rep range, so I think it's totally fine. Just do as many as you can. Then we moved on to side lateral raise. This one's going to be great for your shoulders. A little tip, if you feel like, maybe the 20s are too light, but you can't go to 25, just try and go a little slower and maybe hold it at the top. Work on your form a little bit and work on the negative of the exercise. Work on that, and then, once you get more comfortable and used to that, you should be able to go up to the 25s, and you should be fine. But just do what you're comfortable doing, set a rep range, stick with it, and focus on going as intensely as you can with that rep range. As you can see here, I went up to the 25s. I wasn't I guess my form wasn't as good as with the 20s, but I pushed through. I got them. They weren't the worst reps in the world, and I still felt it where I was trying to feel it in my shoulders. So nothing wrong with going up. If your form's not 100%, that's something you can work on, but that doesn't mean that you necessarily need to go down unless you're starting to feel it in other muscle groups. All right, if you watch any of my pull days before this, went a little heavy right there, you know that this is one of my favorite back exercises. One of my top 3 I've listed, and that's because you kind of get this cross-body pattern to pull across, so you get a better stretch, better contraction, and like with a lot of the exercises that we've been doing, you don't need a lot of weight in order to feel this. Like, I think I'm using 55 pounds here, which, depending on who you are, could be a lot, could not be a lot. But for a regular single arm row, I think I can go heavier. It's just the full stretch and full contraction of this makes it a little bit harder than a regular row. You want to make sure, I try, but sometimes, again, form's not 100%. You want to try and make sure that your back is not pulling the weight stack, if that makes sense. You should be using your back muscles, but not your entire back hinging at the waist. Your back itself, you want to keep basically in the same position, kind of right here. You could draw a straight line almost right down my spine, and you can see that it's not really moving. But again, that's something you can work on with form. As long as you're feeling it in the places you're supposed to be feeling it and you're not feeling it anywhere else, there's not really an issue with you doing it 98% form-wise. I finished off the workout with shrugs, supersetted with back extensions. There's a nice machine at my gym that has it. I set up the camera to film over there after this set, and then someone walked over to use it, and I didn't want to be awkward, so I just let them have it, worked in with them, but I didn't film it, so I didn't make them uncomfortable. But I choose to do the Smith Machine shrugs just because I feel like it's most effective for me. I feel it better than dumbbells and everything else, and it's a little easier for the setup. But you can choose whatever form of shrug you feel hits your traps the best. Finish off the workout going through some poses. I kind of only know a few poses. I'm trying to use my rest days to kind of learn more about the poses, but I don't know why I start with my shirt on always, make myself feel more confident, and then take off my shirt, go through the poses, working on my vacuum, and different aspects of everything, like leveling out my chest during the side chest, putting my wrist where it's supposed to go. Now it's cold, I don't see my legs as much in these posing because I'm wearing sweatpants, but checking out especially the back after a good back day, feeling confident about it, feeling good about it. I feel like it's growing. I feel like I'm maintaining my strength even though I'm on kind of a health phase. But yeah, and that's going to do it for the posing. Hopefully someone could comment and tell me a little easier ways to pose or some things to look up. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's workout. Had a lot of fun. My back is destroyed. Finishing up in the sauna, trying to do about 10 to 15 minutes every day after my workout. Try and, see what that does for me on top of my cardio and diet. So, hope you liked the episode. If you did, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. And let me know in the comments if you want to see something different, if you like the format that I'm filming in, or what I can improve. Thanks. See you in the next one.